friend, how are you doing today? My name is Mary, this is Happily Ever Esch, and today I want to talk about all the books I plan to read in February 2020. Yes, February is already a third of the way finished, but I still have a lot of good books that I plan to read this month. Just wanted some internet accountability. Isn't this part of the whole booktube thing? Yeah, I think so. So I'm sharing it with you anyway. And I hope that we can chat about these books, and at the end of the month I can tick them all off my list. So without further ado, let's just get started. So in 2020 I am doing a little bit of a challenge with my shelf where I'm pulling out prompts from my little TBR jar and then picking a book from my shelf to read from that category. So let's chat about those books first. So the first category that chose me this month is YA, and so I chose a book that very much has all the hype and that I've already started and I'm really enjoying, and that is The Hate U Give by Angie Thomas. This probably doesn't need a lot of explanation just because it is a very popular YA and got a lot of praise and acclaim, especially a couple years ago. But this follows a teenage girl named Star. It's kind of caught between two worlds: the lower income neighborhood that she lives in, and then also the very wealthy, predominantly white preparatory school that she goes to. Star witnesses the murder of her best friend at the hands of the police, and it kind of just goes on into how this community deals with this, how Star herself deals with it, and is really looking at like not just the ramifications for this young man, which are obviously terribly and horribly sad, but also for Star being a witness to that. What is her role in his death, like going forward, and just kind of looking at lots of different hard things that are happening in Star's life because of this, but also like what does it mean to be a young black woman in America. I must say I was kind of expecting the hard-hitting stuff to come from this book because that's what a lot of people talk about, but some of my favorite parts so far have been reading about this community of people and their love and care for one another, and Angie Thomas writing about community and what that looks like has been some of my favorite parts so far. Not that the other parts haven't been very good and poignant, but I pleasantly surprised by these other aspects that I'm really enjoying of this book. So that is The Hate U Give. Also, the audiobook is excellent. Bonnie Taylor, I believe, is the narrator, but if I'm not saying that correctly, I will put the narrator here. But yes, she's phenomenal. Alright, the next prompt that I pulled out was Newest By, so a new within a month book that I've added to my shelf, and for that I picked The Child Finder by Renee Dinfield. This is a literary thriller, I believe. We're following our main detective investigator who is hired to find this lost child, and she's so good at it because she was once a lost child. So it's not that long, it's under 300 pages, it's set in the winter time, and it's still very wintry here in the Midwest, and I wanted to pick it up before it got into springtime and I wasn't, you know, seasonally interested anymore. Also, sprinkling in a mystery thriller detective novel was just a good decision for my TBR, so that's what I did, and I'm excited to get to this one. I also love the cover, I think it's beautiful. So Newest By, there we go for that one. I also plan to somewhat participate in Historical Fiction-a-thon created by Call Me After Coffee and a few other creators. I should have done my research before I did this video, but I didn't. But I will link all of the creators of this read-a-thon down in the description below. And I plan to pick up We Were the Lucky Ones by Georgia Hunter for this read-a-thon. This is a World War II novel. I think it's based on the author's family, and we're following members of this family who have escaped the horrors of the Holocaust in these oppressive regimes in these countries. and just following their life from there. I don't know a ton about it, but I'm okay with that because I haven't read it yet. So this was also something that fit in one of my categories from my project, and that is most anticipated. There's a lot of hype surrounding this book, and I'm very excited to get to it. And oh, isn't that cover just lovely? So excited about that. Okay, and the one that I'm most like doubting that I'm actually gonna get to, but I really hope that I do, is The Final Empire by Brandon Sanderson. This is the first book in the Mistborn trilogy series. It says on the front, "What if the Dark Lord won?" I honestly know next to nothing about this fantasy series. I know there's magic that I think has something to do with like consuming metals, and that's about all that I know about it. But it is a very beloved fantasy series, and Brandon Sanderson is a very beloved fantasy writer. This cover is gorgeous. It's a floppy edition. I mean, all of the things working towards read this book, but what's not is that it's a little bit of a brick. So I'm really hoping to get to this because I'm very excited to try this, and this has been sitting on my most anticipated, excited, hyped for shelf for a very long time, but I haven't picked it up. So that's why I put it in this category, which is out of my comfort zone. It's big, it's adult fantasy, and I definitely think it fits the bill for this. So we shall see. I really, really hope to get to it this month. And then last but certainly not least is a nonfiction pick. It is the one read that my church selected to read this month for Black History Month, and it is The Color of Compromise by Jemar Tisby. The Truth About the American Church's Complicity in Racism. So this is exactly what it sounds like. I think we're looking from the time of slavery up until modern day, how the church has been complicit in America's very racist past and present, and how collectively as a church and like the community of God, like we need to do better, and we need to confront our past, confront the past that of this institution that we're a part of, that has been so historically complicit in the tragedies of racism and injustice that has happened to people in our country, and how we can move forward and do better. So part history, part call to arms of the church. Jemar Tisby is a very intelligent man who I've read many articles from and really appreciated his perspective and feel like it's a much needed perspective. And so I will link some of those articles that I really enjoyed down below, but also very excited about this. And I just found out that Hoopla has it on audiobook. I've been kind of hemming and hawing, like I wanted to read it, and then our church chose it as the one read for our body, and was also like, I just don't do great with like physically reading nonfiction, but when I saw it was an audiobook, I was like, absolutely, because I had been considering buying the audiobook version, but I'm so excited. It's on Hoopla. So yes, I think it's going to be a tough read, but a necessary read, and I'm excited to talk about it with other members of my church as well. Okay. That is the very ambitious stack that I hope to read. Minus, am I missing something? Oh no, I think that's it. Oh, minus some books that I'm still working my way through right now. So, oh, get that sticker off. The plights of used bookstore shopping. Always random stickers on things. Okay. Here we are, February 2020, it's gonna be great. So what do you plan on reading? Have you read any of these books? I know the Sanderson's really popular, I know this one's really popular, obviously this one's really popular, so please tell me your thoughts and feelings about them, because I would love to chat with you about that and give me some positive motivation to get through these. Yes, and what do you plan on reading in February, or have you read any great books in February? Let's chat about it down in the comments below. I don't usually say this, but like and subscribe. Is that weird? I don't know. I always feel like weird saying it, but I'm gonna say it this time. Yeah, because I want to be like friends. Okay. So awkward. All right, friends. Have a great day. I'll talk to you later. Bye.